Ahoy and welcome to another secret river. I'm taking you along again with me today for a look. This is a section of river that I've never been into before, and this is an area that's a little bit harder to get to. There's quite a few obstacles to get through to get up into this area. So every metre that you walk up the river is the less percentage of people that have been here. So doesn't mean someone hasn't been here and dug before. Definitely people would have come up here, but the further you go up, the less pressure it's had. And it's a beautiful stretch of the river. Lots of logs, lots of rocks, lots of areas of big river rocks and gravel. You've got the old hand-stacked river rocks along that edge over there. There's a lot of evidence of tin mining from the late 1800s all through this area. There's little channels and piles of rocks all over the place. So yeah, this is exciting. I have no idea what I'm going to find because I've never been here before, but if I find something, I'll let you know. But yeah, this is my idea of a fun day out. Alright, I am heading up that way and you're coming with me. Rightio, so I'll just give you an example of the evidence of tin mining. So this is your main part of the river here. And even though that's here now, back in the old days it could have been in a completely different spot. And this area here is quite flat through here. And if you look over this side, there's a big channel here. And then over there, there's another channel that runs through there. And it runs right around down through that way. And this whole area here has been dug out. So the old riverbed may well have been way over there or way over on the other side. So I'm looking through the bush there and I can see rocks and channels on the other side also. So if you can imagine this area being completely devoid of trees, completely dug up and put through sluices, that's what it was like back in the late 1800s. The rainforesters reclaimed the whole area again, and yeah, so they took out the tin, left the gemstones behind, and I'm exploring a little bit further up into an area where I've never been before. So this is fun. Alright, rightio, so I'm going to pull up here and have a dig. This whole area here has got heaps of big rocks and gravel in it. And you can see there's an old log laying here, big old log here, big log jam, and there's a waterfall here, and there's a lot of gravel running down in behind here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig just there where the shovel is, and I'm just going to dig down and see what's there. Now I've moved a few rocks and they're really pale, light yellow colour, which means they've been in the river for a long time. It's probably likely that no one's dug here for a long time, because if they did, then if they filled the hole in, they'd be filling the holes in with the dark rocks, but there's lots of light rocks there. So and over on the other side of the bank there's a big U-shaped area here, and that might possibly be an area that a channel has flowed back into the river from where they were sluicing. That's just a guess. I could be completely wrong, but you know, it's a theory, I suppose. Alright, I'm going to get in and have a dig and we're going to see what's in it. It's a beautiful sunny spot here, and it's an absolutely beautiful day. And it's exciting to be in a stretch of river I've never been in before. I've done a couple of shovels and found a few spinels, but nothing exciting. But we'll just see what's in it, eh? usual jasper. Can't see much in it. Not really improving at all. Couple of little black stones there, and it's a little bit of clay there, which is nice. It might improve if we go down a little bit deeper. I hope so. Black spinel. It's probably the first decent one we found. There's a few more in there, so alright. I think it's worth persevering. There's a few more. So there's a big rock in the way at the moment, and I can get my shovel under it, but I can't move the rock. And when I try and lift the gravel out, the gravel keeps falling off the shovel, and that's where the black stones are. So I'm going to have to persevere, try and get under that rock. Yep. They're underneath the rock. Alright, so, and silly old me left the crowbar on the bank somewhere back there, so it's just the shovel. Alright, we'll see what's in it. And that's the first sieve. Very unimpressive. We've got a few black stones there, but there's no gemstones there. Nothing of significance. So I'm going to do a few more sieves here and see what happens. And if anything nice turns up, I'll let you know. And sieve number 2, there's slightly more black stones, and we've got a topaz there, another little topaz there, we've got some tourmaline there. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do a few more shovelfuls. There's a bigger spinel there, but it's really hard to get into. So that's a good thing, and it's also a bad thing. The good thing is it means that it probably hasn't been dug for a long time, if ever. But the bad thing is it's really hard to get a bucket of gravel. But anyway, that's what we're here for, is to have a go and see what happens. I'd rather be digging hard gravel that's never been dug before than easy gravel with nothing in it. Alright, see what else is happening. And this is sieve number 3, marginally better. I've got a little topaz there, a bigger topaz there, but I'm starting to get a few bigger spinels. And I'll just show you what's happening over here. So this rock here was the one that was in my way, and I couldn't get it out for quite a while, so I had to dig right around it. It took me about 15 minutes of digging around it, and it took me about 15 minutes to get a bucket full of gravel. But now I've moved that rock, and now we've got a nice big hole of gravel, and I'm confident that we'll get a lot more black stones this time. So as you can see, we're behind this big rock here, and we're right along the edge, and we've got the log, and we've got the obstruction in the river up here. So I'm just hoping that there might be a deposit of heavy stones in behind this big rock and in a bit of a line running up this edge. But anyway, the next bucket will certainly give us a real clear indication of what's going on. And this is the next one. So there is quite a decent topaz there, but it's not really consistent enough for me to keep digging here. If I spent a couple of days digging in this area, I'd probably find a good deposit. But I'm going to keep moving. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark this spot on my GPS, and now I'm going to just slowly head back towards the car, and I'm going to dig in probably 2 or 3 likely sort of spots that I saw on the way up, and hopefully I'll find my crowbar. So I've left it back on the river somewhere. But yeah, this is I mean, this whole section here is pretty good, and that's a decent topaz. But yeah, I just want to keep going and have a look around, see what else I can find. I just don't like staying in one spot for too long. Alright, I'm going to keep going. Alright, so I've had a bit of a dig up there. I've gone as far up the river as I want to go, and now I'm heading back the other way. Now what I'm actually doing is walking along the edge of an old water race. So the old water race would have been in there, and I'm on one of the banks of the water race, and I'm following my orange markers that I've left. Now I have a phone with a map app thingy on it, so I know exactly where I am on my phone. But at the same time, if you drop your phone in the water, then your phone's not available to use. So I'm really overcautious when it comes to coming up here, especially on my own. I've got 2 PLBs, or personal locator beacons, and a satellite connection to the outside world. And I use the orange markers as a guide. So basically what I do is I just go to the tip shop or the op shops and buy some old work shirts, and I cut them into long strips, and then I just put them on the ground, and I lay a bit of a trail so I know where I'm going. But as you can see, it's quite open through here. I can see where I'm walking most of the time. Yeah, beautiful area, and it's pretty easy to walk at the moment. So, and I'm just going to get down onto the river here, and all these rocks with moss on it is actually a hand-stacked rock wall right along this edge. You can see them all stacked there, and this used to be where the tin miners would get the rocks out of the river and just stack them up along the edge. But an absolutely beautiful area, really nice. Alright, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to have another dig. Rightio, so I'm in a really good looking spot here, and there's a big log jam just in here. There's a big grass tree growing right in the middle of the river, right here. There's a big section of bedrock coming down here, and you can see breaks up, goes down into that area down there, and there's this pocket in here, and it looks really good. Looks really good. Now I've dug down about probably nearly a metre down into here, and the sand sort of keeps caving back in on it, but I keep throwing up a heap of gravel up onto the bedrock here, and what I'm doing is as I'm digging it, I get 4 or 5 shovels up there, and then I'm splashing it back into the river. And as I'm doing that, I'm looking for any heavy minerals, any crystals, anything that gives me an indication that there might be some gemstones here. And you know what? I cannot find a single black stone. And I don't know why. It's just a terrific looking spot. You know, you'd really think that there would be a deposit of heavy stones in here, but for whatever reason, they're just not here. And I don't know why, but I do come across that quite a bit. You'll get to a really good spot and you think, oh yeah, here we go, we're going to find some good ones here. You have a dig and you find nothing. And then you might go to another spot and you know, you might not think that you're going to find much, and you'll find a deposit. So, you know, you can try and work out the puzzle. You can try and read the river. And, you know, sometimes, for whatever reason, they're just not where they're supposed to be. All right, I'm going to wash all this back in, and I'm going to keep heading back down the river. Hopefully I'll find my crowbar soon. I still haven't found it. But yeah, I'm not finding much at all today, but I'm in a section of the river I've never been in before, so I'm just really enjoying being on the river. So yeah, but there you go, not a single bloody black stone. All right, I'm going to keep going. Woohoo! Found me crowbar. Not much good sitting on the bank. All right. I have got to go through there. See you soon. All right. So I finally found a deposit. This is only half a bucket, and there's lots of black stones in it, and you probably can't see, but there's heaps of zircons in it too. So that's a good sign. I can't see any sapphires. But yeah, I've only done half a bucket and I've found a spot. I'm not going to show you where I am because it's if people have been up here before, they'll know where it is. And I'm actually really surprised that I actually found something here, because I thought that all the gravel would have been blown out of this section. But no, there is good gravel in here. So very surprised. But I'm going to do probably another 2 or 3 buckets and then I'm going to head home. No use doing any more of that, because I know that there's a good deposit of gravel here, and it's a spot that I can bring someone back on a wetsuit tour. All right, I'm going to keep going. I'll do another sieve and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, the next sieve, and a lot more black stones. And they're getting a lot bigger. So the further down I go, the bigger they get. We've also got quite a few zircons in there. Yeah, I reckon I'll do one more bucket and then I'll keep going. I'm not really sure what I've got in there because I'm right down in a pretty deep little section here. So even though it's a bright sunny day, there's not much sunlight down here. But there you go, I've found another spot. Alright, I'll do another sieve, see what it looks like. And the further down I go, the better it gets. It's hard to see there, but there's a lot of zircons in there. Lots of big black stones, lots of heavy stones. Definitely a good chance of getting a good sapphire in this spot. Nice topaz there. Oh, I'm going to have to just do one more bucket. It's easy digging. It's quite deep. It's down about up to my thigh now. But there's no sign of hitting the bottom yet. So while I think there's going to be a lot of gravel in here, and there's going to be a lot of heavy stones. So I'm going to do one more bucket, and then I'm going to fill it in and hide the evidence. Rightio. And here's the next one. So the further down I go, the better it gets. The bigger the black stones are getting. And I'm getting some gemstones. That's a beautiful topaz there. It's a beautiful white yellow topaz, clear. But there are a lot of zircons in it, a lot of heavy stones in it, a lot of tin in it. That could be a sapphire there. No, not a sapphire. But when you start getting spinels that big and they're not going through the top 1 centimetre sieve, you know you're on the right spot. Alright, I'm going to take this home and go through it in the sunshine and see what I can find. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. There's a lot of gravel here, and the further I go down the better it gets, and I don't think I'm anywhere near the bottom yet. I'm not getting into any clay, any sand. It just keeps getting better and better as I go further down. Alright, I reckon that'll do me. I'm going to put some rocks in the hole and cover it up, and I'm going to make sure I cover any evidence of digging, and I'm going to go, and I'm just going to leave it for another day. Alright, see ya. Alright, that was fun. I am absolutely exhausted. I am absolutely soaking wet. Just tipping the water out of my gumboots. Make them a little bit lighter. But, oh, alright. I'm going to head back.